All right, guys, the main numbers came out and the shift is starting to happen now. We are officially in a buyer's market and especially in Davidson County. But let's look at some of this. And first thing I'm going to say is you guys have probably all seen the articles, but there's a lot of articles out there talking about Nashville's shift to a buyer's market amid sharp decline in home sales. We'll talk about decline in home sales in a minute once we go over the numbers, but our activity is definitely off, and we will dive into some of this data now. Okay, so this is Davidson County. Okay, so new listings are relatively flat over May of last year. Our new under contract inventory was flat. Our active inventory, though, so the amount of houses that we have on the market, up 35%. We have a lot of stuff that is lingering on the market. And you've probably seen it if you peruse Zillow, Homes.com, look at Real Tracks, you've probably seen this. There's just a lot of stuff kind of hanging out. Under contract inventory, so the total amount of homes under contract is down 4%. Our total inventory is up 21%. It's the highest, as you can see, it's the highest we've seen in 2 years. This is where we're really starting to feel it. So if you look at our new under contract inventory being flat, our total under contract inventory being down, our closings are down 13%, a huge decrease in just the amount of volume that we're seeing being closed out in the market. And that's why a lot of this active inventory has been hanging out. Our average sales price, we'll call it flat, it was up 3%. And then our median sales price, look at that, it's pretty much completely flat. So the positive, if you're a buyer out here, prices are starting to level off. This is a data point that I really don't like. So the average days on market is not 26 days. I'd say it's actually probably closer to 60 to 90. This doesn't account for the listings that are taken off and put back on, taken off and put back on. It doesn't combine those together. So I think this is a very hard data point to capture, but it's also misleading. And I wouldn't trust this data point at all. Lastly, in Davidson County, we are at a almost a 5 month supply of inventory that's up 45%. Um, so buyers, you have stuff to look at, and our month supply of inventory is not the highest it's ever been. So January of this year, it was the highest we've seen. In fact, if I go out to 3 years, January 2025 was the highest we've seen in the past 3 years. So I also want to look at our 3 year pricing trend as well. So you see that we've had kind of this trending upward until May of 2024 in Davidson County was our peak. We saw a huge dip. Look at this. May of 2024, $742,000 was our average sales price. So 742 all the way down to 665 in November of 2024. And we've been kind of climbing back ever since November, but we're still not at our peak. So we have seen this leveling off in this $720,000 price point. I truly think that that's probably where we're going to sit for the rest of the year, especially if we don't see any mortgage rate movement and it stays the same. In fact, I think we're either going to be flat or we might be down another, 1 to 3% by the end of the year. But it all depends on kind of what happens with interest rate, tariffs, pending wars, whatever could be thrown our way in the market. There's just a lot of things going on right now. So I'm going to flip this over to Williamson County now, Brentwood, Franklin, Spring Hill, Thompson Station, all those good places. So you'll see our new listings, we're up 5% year over year. We've been relatively, pretty in the same ballpark of new listing count in May from May 23 to May 25. Whoops, something happened to my camera in there. But we're up new under contract inventory. We're up 18%. We're actually over May of 2023, which is very surprising. Our active inventory is up 34%. So take a look at this. We have 1,324 listings on the market active at the end of May. That's a massive jump in the amount of active inventory that we have, which means you buyers that are looking in Williamson County too, you have a lot more options to choose from. The amount of total under contract inventory that we have is actually down 14%. So seeing a drastic decline in just the overall amount of under contract inventory, and our closings are flat. And look at this closing number in May. We are flat now 2 years in a row in May. Our average sales price is down 5%, and our median is flat. We'll call it, slightly down here, 2%, but we'll call it flat. And, as I always say with Williamson County, it can really vary because there are some big, big sales that can go down and kind of swing some of these numbers a little bit. But we're kind of seeing that same trend of a settling down in sales price, which is what we have needed. The amount of appreciation that we've seen has been off the charts the past 5 years. Again, average days on market, I really don't like this stat here. Do not pay attention to it. Our average list price is flat, and our month supply of inventory in Williamson County is up to almost 4 months. And if we go to the timeline here on month supply, and again, go to the past 3 years, you can see that really since November of 23, we've kind of settled around 4 months. Now, we saw a little dip here in the summer of last year, but we're kind of seeing that same trend towards 4 months. And then our pricing trends as well, kind of that same. So 23, 22, little dip into 23, started coming back here. Our peak was in June of 2024. And then we just have had a pretty big decline. So our peak in June 2024 was 1.272. It went down to 1.175. So yeah, I think kind of hanging around this like 1.2, 1.25 average price is where we've been hanging out. And again, I think that's kind of where we're going to stay, at least in the foreseeable future. Now, I do want to show you a pretty interesting market, and this is the luxury market in Williamson County, and I think this is pretty crazy. Okay, so this is all of Williamson County, $4 million and up in listings. And look at the active inventory. We have 116 listings on the market right now, or at the end of May, that were $4 million and above. That is an insane amount of luxury listings. And our total inventory, so that includes us under contract, 139 homes. So we have had such an accumulation now of luxury listings that we are now at a 25-month supply of luxury listings in Williamson County. So a couple things. If you're selling a house right now, it is very important that you go off the data when you're pricing your home. There are a lot of options. And so price, the condition, that really matters right now. So you want to make sure that your house is in great condition, as good as you can get it when you go to list, and that the price is in line with the comps around you. And then you just have to be patient. I have had some clients where their house went under contract really quickly and they still had to negotiate a lot. There's a lot of negotiation right now. I've had other clients who I think are priced really fairly, and their houses have just hung out. Price points play a factor in that. What price point your house is in, location plays a factor into that. How much inventory is around your house right now plays into that. And so there's a lot of factors, and the data is very, very important to set expectations on what to expect when you're going into market. And just know that it's not going to be easy. But the encouraging news is you should still see that our prices are holding steady. So there is still the possibility of getting a great price for your home. And for buyers out there, there's a lot to choose from. And you have the liberty now to actually shop, find that house that really speaks to you, and then negotiate accordingly. So if I can answer any questions, I'd be more than happy to. And I hope this helped.